Think about all the usernames, passwords, PIN numbers, public keys, private keys that maintain or that have to be maintained. Think about all the things that identify you as a user. How do we maintain those? How do we update those? How do we even keep track of all of that information? Credential management systems are the key to that. So organizations need a way to create, issue, manage, and revoke security credentials or security identification data. Again, that could be a username and password, could be public keys, could be a PIN number. And for very large organizations, this becomes a huge problem. If I've got 100,000 users, how do I maintain all of that information? Well, a credential management system is designed to do just that. It allows you to create identities, so you can get a new secure credential like a smart card, like a CAT card. It allows you to issue the credentials to the user, so load the identity on your CAT card into that into the little token slot there. It allows you to manage these credentials. So if my name changes, my address changes, I change my password, how is all of that information managed? How does it get updated? And it also, credential management systems will also allow you to revoke certificates. So if somebody perhaps leaves their job or gets fired or they just lose their CAT card or their PIN gets compromised, credential management systems give you a way to revoke that identity and reissue it. So as an example, look at the CAT card and all the things that you're able to do with your CAT card. And Mr. Norris there does everything well. So the gate guard, checks your photo at the gate. Well, where does your photo come from? Credential management system. They might scan the barcode on it and validate your address or who you are that way. You might swipe your RFID card and enter a PIN to access a building. All of that information comes from the CMS as well. You put your CAT card into your reader on your computer, enter your PIN, it allows you to log into the computer. It allows you to send and receive encrypted email messages. You can even log on to websites now with your CAT card. All of that information is managed by the content management or credential management system. And then when you leave the DoD, that certificate, all of that information is revoked and it's all deleted from the credential management system. And then if you were to try to use that card after it's been revoked, the websites wouldn't recognize you. You wouldn't be allowed to enter the base. The guard would turn you around because it shows up as revoked. That's a lot of information. There's a lot of moving parts that get managed by that credential management system. And so you have these systems that might manage multiple seemingly disparate systems for door locks, accessing safes, logging into computers and websites, tablets. You can run all of the authentication mechanisms through your credential management system. So it gives you one spot to control all this information. A fully featured credential management system, not to be confused with a content management system, another CMS, but credential management systems might use some type of multi-factor authentication, so it allows you to have tokens or username and passwords or even biometrics. All that data can be managed by the CMS and presented on your smart card or whatever it is that you use to authenticate who you are and to whatever system you're trying to access. The benefit is that you can use the same set of credentials for physical and logical access. So the same credential I use to access a website might be the same credential I use to get into the building every morning. And allows simplified management of all those credentials. It usually will give the user a way to manage their own information. So if they want to change their password, they can do it through the CMS portal. They don't have to go to the help desk and say, I've got to change my PIN number on my card. It might also offer kind of global auditing and logging, so you can tell who's in the building, what sites they're accessing with their credentials and that sort of thing. There's a company that we've done some consulting for, and they have a great identity management system. So when they walk into work in the morning, everybody scans their badge at the gate, and it gets logged into the system that this particular employee is here on the facility. And so what they do during fire drills or disaster drills, when they have to evacuate the building, as you're filing out of the building, you scan your ID card on the way out, and they know now who's still left in the building, who's actually out in the evacuation area, and so they know who might be left around that they have to go rescue. So it gives an easy way to manage all of that information and actually track people from a safety perspective. When you combine credential management systems with public key infrastructure, this is really a powerful concept where now I've got a way to manage my public and private key pairs with my identity, and it's all one system. I don't have to go get my PKI keys from here, set my PIN number there, go get a username and password all over there. It's all done from one credential management system. And you can have different credentials for code signing, digital signatures on emails, different credentials for single sign-on to applications. Either way, all of this information can get managed by the CMS, and it gives security professionals a way to centrally manage all the credentials and identities of users on their network and be able to audit and log them what they're doing. So who uses credential management systems? You see this a lot, certainly within Department of Defense and U.S. government. A lot of large enterprises will use a content or credential management system. Some medium-sized enterprises will use a CMS as well. You don't see this a lot at the small to and some of the mid-sized businesses as well. You don't see this implemented because there's a high cost of actually implementing this system to begin with. So if you look at the cost per number of users, up here at the very beginning, if you've got 100 users, your cost per user is going to be astronomical. That's because you've got to buy the hardware, you've got to buy the software, all the ID cards or smart cards that you have to be purchased. There's an administrative overhead to enroll everybody in this. I was in the DoD when they actually did the CAT card rollout. I remember all the nightmares of, I've got to go get my CAT card, I have to enroll it, I have to set the PIN number, and bless the folks who actually did that rollout. It actually, all things considered, it went pretty well, and now it's just like, oh yeah, I've got all this on my CAT card, yep, whatever. But it allows organizations to really, with large numbers, scale well, because once you get through that initial overhead, now when you enroll somebody, it's 5 minutes to load up their card. And with large organizations, it also gives you the ability to be compliant with various regulations or standards that are out there as well. Now, some credential management systems are better at complying with various standards or than others, so make sure you choose the right one for you. So a lot of CMS systems will claim they've got compliance. There's GSA certification, there's FISMA compliance, HIPAA compliance, reporting with related to SOX or personal identity verification. Before you select a CMS, make sure that what you're getting is what you need for regulatory compliance or standards compliance. Could be industry specific, may not be, but just look at the details of the credential management system that you're getting. Make sure that it's going to support the standards and you can be compliant with the standards as you roll out that system. That'll be one less box you have to check from a compliance standpoint if you do that.